The Saints enter tonight's contest at 13-12 overall, 9-9 in the RMBL. Free admission for tonight's game has been made possible through the generous sponsorship of LogTech LLC and The Pit, the Arrow Wireless, and the Taco Shop. We greatly appreciate these generous people and their support of Hayes Larks Baseball. And now let's meet the starters for tonight's Hayes Larks. Yes, leading off and playing shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 22, Cortland Lawson. Batting second, playing left field from Fort Hays State University, number 17, Cam Patterson. Batting third, the designated hitter from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 16, Wyatt Diffus. Batting fourth, the right fielder from Fort Hays State University, number 21, Grant Schmidt. Tonight's Hayes Street Liquor Beverage batter, batting fifth, the second baseman from the University of Sioux Falls, number 2, Grant Long. Batting sixth, the catcher from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 15, Sam Crowell. Batting seventh, the third baseman from Kansas City, Kansas Community College, number 4, Parker Hutchison. Batting eighth, the first baseman from Butler Community College, number 25, Brock Loomis. And batting ninth for the Larks, playing center field from the University of Nebraska, number 5, Tyler Palmer. At 3-0 in the season, making a pitching start for the Larks from the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown. And in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach is Keith Harper. Assistant coach is Max McGuire. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's ceremonial first pitchers. Representing the taco shop is Sierra Dio. Representing Vieira Wireless is Matt Barnes and his stepson Luke James. And representing Log Tech LLC and the Pit is Glenn and Mary.
For the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 34 of your 2021 Hayes Larks season. This is game 1 of 2 against the Gameday Saints, and it's the second series between the teams. Cade Brown getting the start for the Larks, his third of the season. He's 3-0 through 12 appearances. There was a first pitch strike here to Caleb Alball to get things going. Goes from the windup, misses outside. Will go 1-1 with the counts. Alball from Metro State University going up against the Oklahoma Sooner. Brown has thrown 21 1/3 this season. He's punched out 38 guys. That's top 3 on the team. Has allowed just 4 walks, having a great ratio of strikeout to walks along with the rest of his pitching staff. It's just been a great season for the Larks in terms of not giving up walks. Yeah, runs have scored, but the walks have been a killer for the Larks in the past years. Cade Brown leading the charge in keeping those walks low and putting Larks in position to win games. Coming to this one, 28-5, have won 28 games and 16 of their last 17, only losing 1 game this month of July. Started out on a 14-game winning streak in the month of July and then dropped game 1 against the Cougars, then retaliated to winning the last 2. They're your Rocky Mountain Baseball League champs, 13-2 in league play, and on the 2-2 delivery from Brown, he will get all ball to go down looking. Strikeout number 39 this season for Mr. Brown.
The
top 3 in strikeouts. It is Brown currently at third with 39, Divis at second with 43, and then Fitzgibbons leading the charge with 51 punch-outs. One away, base is empty as we go to the 2-hole. Noah Vogel. Vogel, the left fielder from the Masters University in Colorado, gets another first pitch strike, and Brown is looking for the zone in this game. Larks have matched up against this team 2 times. They won game 1 12-7, and then game 2 was a thriller. It went down as a Larks classic. Larks won 18-16 in 12 innings. They were down 11-1 at one point, retaliated, and took it into 12 innings, winning by 2. Larks have picked up 32 hits against the Saints this year and scored 23 runs. Swing and a miss here on pitch number 3 of the AB. Will go 1-2 in the count. Brown will go from the windup. Brown has given up just 18 hits this season, has 7 earned runs, has an ERA sitting at 2.30, gets a pop fly over into the Larks fan pavilion, heads up over there, drops on the backside of the concession stand, and we'll stay 1-2 and get a 5th pitch of the AB. This is Brown, first look pitching against the Gameday Saints, and it's his first look at them totally. Didn't play in the 2 games in Colorado, doesn't matter. He strikes out 2 in a row, and we'll go 2 away. So it'll take us to Luke Bailey, the right fielder, batting 3-hole. First pitch clocked in around 7:08 p.m. here in Hays, Kansas. There's 2 away. It's a hot night at the ballpark. The last couple weeks have been miserable in terms of the heat at the ballpark, and this one, no difference. But still a good turnout from the crowd. Got a very large crowd in hand tonight. Few hundred people, probably pushing 1,000. We've seen quite a few games with over 1,000 people in attendance this season, especially game 1 when we had 2,000 people at the ballpark to see the Larks open their 75th anniversary season. The Saints in this season are 13-12. They are 5th place in the RMBL, losing 5 of their last 6. Looking to return to the winning column tonight. 2-0, 2 away. Brown will go from his delivery. Goes from the stretch on this one. Number 28 throws home and misses outside. Will go 3-0. Brown, a California native, and has taken his talents to north central Kansas to play for the Larks this summer. At the beginning of the season, it looked like Cade was going to be the 9th inning guy and be our closer. And then slowly throughout the summer, they said, well, we'll throw a little bit more pitches and a little bit more pitches, give you some more innings higher up in the game. And then 3 of his last handful of appearances have been starts. Didn't have any starts in the month of June, but since the Fort Collins series, when he started his first game, it has been great for Cade. Threw 3 innings in that game in the starts, no decision, and then started the game against the Rough Riders on the 19th, 8 days ago, and got his 3rd win of the season, going 5 innings and striking out 9 guys without allowing a single walk in that effort. He walks just his 5th batter of the season. That is Bailey at first with Goldie at the dish now. Throws 5 straight balls. Looks at that runner on first and will go home from the stretch. Bailey's taken off the hit and run. Swing will roll the ball foul, and we'll go 1-1 with the counts. It was the errors that were the story of the game between the Larks and the Saints back in Colorado. It was 2 games against the Colorado Sox and against the Gameday Saints, with the Saints being the bookends of that 4-game series that the Larks went 3-1. Larks gave up 13 errors in the course of 2 games. They'll look to keep that number down here tonight. As if you keep those down, I don't think the Saints will be able to hit the ball off the well of Brown. Nobody does. So if they can keep those errors and the walks down, Larks should be picking up win number 29. But we'll see if the Saints can pull off a win. They were close to one in game 2, up by 10, and the Larks just kept moving through the order and kept putting guys on and picked up 17 runs after trailing by 10. 1-2. Brown from the stretch. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Cortland Lawson, Cam Harrison, and Wyatt Davis. Cortland's first game leading off for the Larks. 1-2, 2 away. Runner at first here in the top of the first. No score. Brown sets up. ignores the runner at first for a while, takes a deep pause, and will deliver from the stretch. 1-2, misses low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now here to Peter Goldie. Goldie, the first baseman from Seward County Community College down in Liberal, Kansas. His teammate Mason Martinez at Seward pitched against the Larks for Game 1 of the Denver Cougars series and had a great game. Now the Larks are looking to pick him up for the NBC. Brown throws a breaking ball that breaks just a little too late. It misses above the zone, according to home plate umpire Doug Clark. Larks fans wanted that one, and so did the Larks defense behind Brown. He won't get the call, and we'll go to a full count. Brown steps to his left, looks at the runner at first, goes home. Runner's taken off with a payoff pitch and 2 outs. Brown misses low, and walks his second straight batter. Very uncharacteristic of the Sooner.
The designated hitter, number 27, Owen Best.
So he starts out with 2 strikeouts in a row, now 2 walks. Brown has never walked more than 1 guy in a single outing before his last game against the Cougars when he walked 2 in just 1 inning, and he's picked that up again today, throwing 2 through 2/3 of an inning. Season high in innings pitched is 5. That was against the Rough Riders 8 days ago. And he won, again, his 3rd game of the season. He'll miss outside and throws another ball here to Owen Best. Brown has 3 wins this year, as I mentioned. 1 against Junction, 1 against the Cannons, and 1 against the Rough Riders. That one against the Cannons, he threw the 9th inning in a tie game, and then the first batter of the bottom of the 9th inning was Grant Schmidt and hit a walk-off home run to left field. Throw down to third is a little bit low and wild. It bounces a couple times. Hutchison dives for it, and the throw to third won't be in time. And going from second to home is Bailey. The Saints are looking to be aggressive here on the base paths here today. Out one, a tough one to give up for the Larks right there. So we'll go 1-1 with the counts, make it a 1-0 game in favor of the Saints. Could be looking at a little bit of a revenge game tonight after the Larks won 18-16 against the Saints and Denver. The Saints had 43 days to think about that game. Since then, the Larks have won 21 games, racked up 280 hits, scoring 255 runs just since that game, and have hit 36 home runs, striking out 244 different batters. So after striking 2 guys out in a row, Brown has walked 2 and now has a 3-1 count. He's down again, this time to Owen Best. He'll go home with the delivery of fastball, and he walks his 3rd straight. And Sam Crowell is going to get time here and talk to his pitcher from California. That's the most walk Brown has allowed in an outing this season. We only have 2 outs here in the first inning. Runners on the corners, and Keith Harper is going to come out of the dugout and have a chat with his pitcher. So we'll take a quick break while the mound visit goes down and be back after the talk. Runners on the corners, 2 away. Keith Harper goes back to the dugouts, and Sam Crowell goes back behind the dish. We'll go to Drew Sackett, the 3rd baseman, batting 7th in the order. Brown's first pitch is a fastball that misses outside. We'll go 3-0. Sackett sports a number 3 jersey, goes to North Dakota State, plays for the Bison. Hits one well to left center. Cam Pearson moves back, and he will not make the catch in left field. Stuck his glove out. I'm not sure he could see it. It's going to be an RBI double for Sackett, and the Saints have put 4 straight on against Cade Brown, who had 2 great first batters and struck them both out. And Things looking a little uncharacteristic for Brown on the mound. That is just his 8th earned run of the season. Goldie scores from third. Best goes from first to third in the play, and it is a 2-run ball game with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Larks are a team who has an ERA under 3, so this one, like I said, just it's been uncharacteristic. However, the Saints have now scored 25 runs against the Larks this season. Go 0-1 with the count, 2 in scoring position. Brown gets the outside corner here. Good location and a good frame from Crowell. Helps out the call from Doug Clark. We'll go 0-2. Larks will look to pick up some runs in the bottom half, and we'll see if it ends here. 0-2. Grounds to first base side. Loomis goes to his left instead of to his right to get it. The throw from Schmitz was good, but it pulled Crowell in front of the plates, and the Saints are rolling here in the first inning. They've scored 4 runs now and put 5 straight aboard. That's their second straight hit. Sackett scores from second, Best from third, and it is a 4-0 ball game with 2 away. And that was Jack Rood who singled. He's the catcher, so he'll get a courtesy runner. For Jack Rood, the catcher, that is RBIs. And I'll get to that in a second. First, let's introduce the new hitter. It's Vander Hodges, the second baseman. Hodges from Allen Hancock University. He's listed on the Saints roster as a pitcher, but he's hitting tonight and playing at the 4 spots. Rood picked up RBIs number 21 and 22. That is second on the team for the Saints. And now at the plate, Hodges has a 1-1 count with 2 away. That runner at first base, Saints have scored 4 with 2 outs, putting 5 on in a row after those 2 strikeouts from Brown. The 1-1 home will miss outside. Sam Crown pops up and looks. Rood back to first. Now the Saints should know no run is safe with the Larks offense. They saw them come back from 10 and put up 18 runs, but they should be feeling like they have momentum here. They obviously do. We'll go 2-2 with the count here to Hodges. We got a lot of discussion up in the box. I'll get focused back on the game. The 2-2 home, and Brown gets the outside part of the plate, strikes out his third of the inning. The Saints get 3 walks, 2 hits. They score 4 runs and leave 1 on in the first inning. The Larks will look to get some momentum back in the bottom half of the first here on Larks Network.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Bottom of the first we go here in Hayes. Cortland Lawson is swinging. Grounds one down the left field line. He gets past a diving Sackett. And on one pitch, Cortland Lawson doubles. Lawson was now with the Larks back in the first two games against the Gameday Saints in Colorado. He was still with Tennessee looking for the College World Series title. And on the first pitch he ever sees from this team, he takes them to left field for a double. And we'll go to Cam Pearson. On the mound for the Saints is Harry Gustin. It's his first look at the Larks this year. No record through 2 appearances for Gameday. He's thrown just 7 innings, striking out 12 guys and walking 3. That's just the second hit he's allowed through those 7 innings, and throws a first pitch ball here to Cam Pearson, the Fort Hays State Tiger from Cochise College. Cam riding a 4-game hitting streak coming to this game. That is the 4th longest on the team. Larks have had a lot of hitting streaks this season, get up in big numbers, but after that game against Martinez, quite a few notable ones came to a close. 2 balls, no strikes here to Pearson. 2-0, outside and low, 3 straight balls. Larks, even though they're down by 4, shouldn't feel too uncomfortable. Came back after being down by 10. They've scored 112 more runs than the Saints this season, have 125 more hits, and 30 more home runs than Gameday. The southpaw Goldie goes home, and Pearson has the green light on the 3-0, swings above it, and will go 3-1 with the counts. Larks are slugging nearly 120 points higher than Gameday and have a OPS 144 points higher. So the offense can be there for the Larks. I've said all season it's going to be the pitching that's going to be the big thing for the Larks in the NBC. You know what you're going to get out of the offense. The pitching just has to be at its best. And Cade Brown didn't look like himself in the first inning. And Pearson lines one down the right field line. It is so close to the line. I thought from up here it looked like it hit right on the line. Umpire Doug Clark, who does have a better view, says it hit just right, very emphatically. And Pearson trying to take him opposite field after Cortland took one down the left field line. This one down the right field line won't land in foul territory. We'll go 3-2 here against Gustin. Pearson this year against the Gameday Saints, he has a double, and he's had 5 hits, driving in 2 runs in the previous 2 games. He has a payoff pitch with Lawson at second, coming his way with still nobody out. Gustin, the Hawaii commit, sets up, goes from the stretch, off speeds above the letters here to Cam Pearson, and that is 4th walk of the season for Gustin, and for Cam, that is the first walk he's picked up against the Saints this year. 2 on with nobody out here for a dangerous DH. Divis to the plate, his 4th year with the Larks. He's on pace to break his on-base percentage record that he set in 2018. He set the all-time single-season record for the Larks, a team that has history of 76 years. This is their 75th anniversary season. He has the best on-base percentage on the team right now, and just needs to keep it up there to complete the record. He has an on-base percentage of .580. He's hitting .466 through 112 plate appearances. He has a 1-0 count here against Gustin. Divis pitched in both of the games against the Saints. Actually picked up both of the wins against the Saints. Starting game 1, going 5 innings. He gave up. He came in relief. No, he did start. Sorry, my apologies. He went 5 innings in the start, struck out 4 guys, and had just 1 earned run. And game 2 against the Saints, he came in relief and pitched innings 11 and 12 after Corey Bright gave us 6 great innings of relief. And Divis picked up the win there, going 2 innings, just allowed 1 hit and striking out 2 guys. Runners take off. This throw a little bit wild, and Sackett saves a run, jumping off the bag. Lawson slides in safely, and the Larks put 2 in scoring position. So Larks looking to be aggressive just like the Saints were. It was a good jump from Lawson. They didn't even worry about Pearson. usually throw down to third since it's closer than second base. And Lawson and Pearson at advance. That is Pearson's second stolen base against Gameday this season. Divis pops one up over the third base side. Sackett rolls in and records the catch in foul territory. Divis now 0 for 1 today after that pop out.
From Fort Hays State University, the right fielder, number 21, Grant Schmidt.
So that stolen base from Cam Pearson moves him up the ladder board. He is now third on the team with 15 stolen bases. And for Cortland, that is his 5th stolen base. Looks to have 5 guys with double-digit stolen bases for the leaderboard. Jackson, Palmer, Pearson, Jiminian, and Henry. Henry standing right now in the lead with 25. And he's out of the order today. 0-1 to Schmidt. Waits a while on this one, a little too long, and has an 0-2 count. Lung the Fort Hays State, Schmidt. Grant Schmidt at the plate. Grant Lung on deck. Schmidt, the Fort Hays State Tiger, has a double and a couple stolen bases against Gameday this season. Has 7 hits and 11 at-bats. He scored 3 times and driven in 2. His 0-2 delivery from Guston. He pops up and will go 0-2 again for pitch number 4 of this at-bat. Lawson and Pearson both in scoring position. Schmidt looking to bring him home. Guston, a 6'1 southpaw. It's from Aurora, Colorado. Same area Hunter Parker's from. Went to Smoky Hills High School before committing to Hawaii. 0-2 home. It drops inside off the turf. Rude stands up and blocks it. Gives the ball back to his pitcher with the 1-2 counts. Guston has now made 3 appearances in 2 weeks. Pitched on the 13th against the Sox. It was his first outing for Gameday. He went an inning striking out 2, no hits, no walks, no runs. Then pitched against the Utah Marshals on the 20th. 6 innings in the starts, no decision though. Allowed 1 hit, striking out 10 guys, had 3 walks, and gave up 2 runs. He's thrown 2 straight balls here to Schmidt. This one outside on an off-speed will go 2-2. Soft wind coming in from the outfield, but we'll see if that has any effect on balls flown out. And after 3 straight strikes to start this at bat, one of them a foul ball with 2 strikes to keep Schmidt alive. We've seen 3 straight balls from Guston. Larks have hit 3 home runs against the Gameday Saints this year. 2 of them from Leo Jiminian, 1 from Brady Evans. Schmidt right now has 7. That's tied for the team lead with Tyler Palmer. He'll go down on the payoff pitch on the 7th pitch of the AB. Strikeout number 13 for Guston. And coming up to the plate, trying to not leave 2 guys in scoring position, will be Grant Lung.
The second baseman, number 2, Grant Lung.
Lung had 2 hits in his 10 at-bats against the Saints and drove in 2 runs, walking 4 times, and had a double back in Colorado. And Grant's last game in that 7-2 victory against the Cougars, he had 2 hits and 3 at-bats, scored 2 times, drove in a run, and walked twice. He'll get hit by a pitch here, and that'll be the 5th time he gets aboard without a hit against Gameday this season. So that'll load the bases as Guston hits his 3rd batter of his last 2 outings. We'll go to Sambone Corral. Sam Corral, the catcher out of UTA. He played in Game 1 against the Gameday Saints and then was injured against the Sox in the 2 middle games and went back to Texas before the 4th game against Gameday. He's back with the Larks and has been on fire. He has the 3rd most home runs on the team with 6 and has picked up a hit and scored 2 times against Gameday this season. He chops this one into the Larks dugout. It goes off the bat boy who tried to make a play on it. It'll take the bruise as Corral takes a 1-1 count. Corral, the 6th hitter of the inning for the Hays Larks. The Maverick from UTA has a 1-1 count. Off speed, started high at the letters. It drops low. I thought it was too low, my opinion. Isn't the one that goes on the scoreboard. That one is a called strike here on Corral at the knees. Sam this season hitting .316. He's picked up 22 RBIs off of 18 hits. Bases jacked, 2 away. The 1-2 delivery from Guston. Corral checks his swing, and it rolls in front and they will call it a strike. They did say Crown wins. He was unsure of it. The bases will stay loaded for the third out. So Larks leave the bases loaded, have a double and a walk to start off the inning. Things are looking bright for the Larks. And then the second strikeout from Gustin leaves everybody on. Saints up by 4 as we move to the second. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned into Larks Network. Top of the second here from Larks Park in historic downtown Hayes. Cade Brown back to the rubber, throws a first pitch strike here to Love. He takes it off his bat into the Saints dugout. 0-1 on the count. Left at the bottom of the order here at the top of the inning. Nice off speed from Brown. Doesn't catch the outside corner. We'll go 1-1 now. Left from the Masters University in Colorado. One of a couple guys from that, in California, one of a couple guys from that school. Takes this fly ball to right field side. It'll drop out to play and we'll go 1-2. Brown walked 3 guys in the first inning, striking out 3 and had 2 hits. 4 different runs scored for the Saints, and Larks put 2 on to start the inning and then left them in scoring position. 1-2, chopped to third base. It'll go foul. Brown's last outing was against the Cougars. He threw an inning in relief, had a hit, an earned run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And he comes home on this one, misses low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to the center fielder. Brown's going to be big for the Larks at the NBC tournament, since he can pitch, hit, and field. Ground ball goes to Grant Long, fields it between his feet, and throws in time to Loomis at first base for out number 1. Let's check out how the Larks line up defensively here for Game 1 against the Gameday Saints. Got Cortland Lawson at the top of the order. He's at shortstop. Palmer Hutchison by him in the hot corner. Long at second base, and then Loomis at first. That's your infield. Sam Crowell behind the dish. Outfield going from left to right. Pearson, Palmer, and Schmitz. That's how your Larks are defensively aligned behind their starter, Cade Brown. 1 away here. Brown will go from the stretch. Castellucci between innings. Went and moved to the pen. We'll see when the Larks want to bring him onto the mound here. 0-1. Originally scheduled for Brown to go a couple innings, and then we'll see probably a trio of relievers for the rest of the game after Brown's day is over. This one, Doug Clark strikes in a little inconsistent here. He does get Brown the strike on the 0-2 delivery. We're at the top of the order here. Caleb Albaugh, he struck out for the first inning, looking in the first at-bats. 0-2 home, he swings above this one, and Brown has struck him out 2 times through 1 2/3 on the rubber. That'll take us to Noah Vogel now. Vogel at Northwestern College in Iowa, batting 2 in the order. And in left field, Brown has retired 3 straight, has 2 away. With 2 outs in the first inning, he allowed 5 straight base runners. They'll look to make it 0 and go make the Saints go 1-2-3. That strikeout from Cade Brown was number 41 on the season. He is just 1 behind now Wyatt Davis to be second. 2 behind Wyatt Davis for second on the team in terms of strikeouts. 1-0 becomes 2-0 as Brown's off-speed misses outside. Vogel, the left fielder, is also left-handed, digging into the left-hander's box, going up against the righty, Cade Brown. Brown's delivery over the outside part of the plate gets fouled to the backstop. We'll go 2-1. Due for the Larks in the bottom of this inning will be the bottom 3 in the order: Hutchison, Loomis, and Palmer. Two 2-1 from Brown will miss slow, gets away from crowd, but there's nobody on. Three 1, 2 away. Base is empty here in the top of the second in a 4-0 ball game. Defense straight up here with nobody on. 3-1 home. Hitters count. Delivery pumped over the the left side and goes out of the park. Brown is 6'4", redshirt sophomore for the Oklahoma Sooners. Didn't pitch for OU this year. Spent the time redshirting. Before going to OU, he went to San Diego State and State of California and spent 1 year. His payoff pitch will catch the low inside corner, and Vogel will go down on strikes for the second time. Brown strikes out 5 through his first 2 innings and gives the Larks the bottom of the second to rally behind him. So we'll go there. Hayes down by 4. Bottom of the second, Palmer Hutchison, the KCK third baseman, will lead it off. Palmer has barely strayed from the hot corner this season, starting in a lot of games, and pretty much has spent every inning at third base. Off the top of my head, can't remember a time when he played somewhere else. He's been great defensively there for the Larks, and he's had a great offensive season so far for the Hayes Larks. Has a 2-1 count here against Guston in Guston's second inning of work. Guston put 3 aboard in the first, left them all there, had hit 1 batter, walked 1, and allowed a double. Hutchison against Gameday in June had 3 hits and a trio of RBIs, scored 2 times, one of his hits a double. Now has 11 doubles on the season, driving in 27 runs and scoring 26 times. Pops this one up over to the right side. Goldie and Bailey move towards it, and it'll drop into the Saints bullpen. We'll go a full count now to Palmer Hutchison. Defensively for the Saints, it's Vogel on left and center, and then Bailey in right. Sackett in the hot corner, on ball, the shortstop on the left side of the infield. As for the right side, Hodges at second, Goldie at first, and then it's Rude behind the dish, and then obviously Guston on the mound. Guston looking for his first win of the season, will throw his second payoff pitch of the day home. This one to Hutchison. Hutch thinks about turning on it, and they will say he went, and it'll be strikeout number 3 for the day for Guston. He has struck out 3 of his last 4. That's the second time the Larks will strike out on a check swing, and will go to Brock Loomis. Loomis come to the plate. Palmer on deck. 8 and 9 hitters, the same from the Larks last game. Other than that, top 7 have been shaken up. This is the second time this season, just the second time Brock has started in back-to-back games. Hasn't been given a whole lot of opportunities to hit this year from the Larks coaching staff. He is the 3rd least played games on the team, and the least played among guys who have been here the whole season and healthy the whole season. 0-2 here to Loomis after Hutchison's strikeouts. Brock, the first baseman in his last game, was the catcher. Went 0 for 2, walked 1 time and scored a run. This one almost caught his calf. We'll go 1-2 with the counts. Larks fans and Saints fans, be sure to follow the Larks on Twitter at HayesLarksBB. Like the Larks on Facebook, and then subscribe on YouTube while you're watching the game. Stay up to date with the Larks this summer as we head towards the NBC. The 1-2 home. Loomis takes it off the inside of his bat and rolls it to Max McGuire. Larks' first-year first base coach. McGuire stands up, throws it back to Guston. Will stay 1-2 with the count. 1 away. Base is empty here in the bottom of the second. 4-0 ball game in favor of the team from Colorado. They scored all their runs in the first inning. Brown threw a 1-2-3 second and put the Larks here now. 1-2 outside. 2-2. Brock didn't play in either of the games against the Saints in Colorado. One of 6 guys that have hit this year that didn't play against Gameday. One of 7 that didn't hit at all. Tyler Palmer played, stole 3 bases, but that was as a courtesy runner. Loomis, after being down 0-2, works a full count, the payoff pitch, the second of the inning, and that'll be strikeout number 4 now for Guston. Loomis goes down swinging, and now there's 2 away. He struck out 4 of his last 5, and we'll go to Tyler Palmer.
9 youth baseball teams with us here this evening as guests from the Larks, representing the Hayes Baseball Club, sponsored by the Pit of Hayes.
And 2 away, as we'll go to Tyler Palmer. Tyler Palmer at the bottom of the order. As I mentioned, he stole 3 bases against the Gameday Saints. And all in game 1. Rips this one down the first baseline. It rolls fair. It's going to be a tough play from Sackett. His throw across the diamond. Not in time. It's Tyler's first hit of the season and his first at bat against Gameday. He was, like as I mentioned, courtesy ran in game 1, stole 3 bases, and then got injured stealing second, hurt his ankle, and hasn't been quite 100% yet, but it doesn't slow him down here. He gets a 2-out single, the Larks' second hit of the game, their 4th base runner. And we'll go back to the top of the order. Cortland Lawson, he saw the first pitch of the first and took it down the left field line for a leadoff double. And is coming to the plate now with 2 outs and that runner at first. That was Cortland's 4th double of the season. His 10th extra base hits, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 home runs. Courtesy runner. Excuse me, not courtesy runner. Tyler Palmer was the courtesy runner in his last game against the Saints. Is running here The center fielder steals his 4th base against Gameday this season. Puts himself in scoring position with 2 outs. 1-0 count here to the Tennessee Volunteer. 1-0 outside, 2-0. For Tyler Palmer, that is his 14th stolen base this season. That is the 4th best on the team. Would have been tied with Cam Pearson had Cam not stolen one in the first. Larks have brought now 10 hitters to the plate in the past 2 innings, but haven't scored. They left 3 on in the first. Don't want to leave anybody on here. The 2-0 home to Lawson, outside again, and we'll go 3-0. Cortland had a on-base streak above 15 games that was ended a few games ago. It was sitting at 17 before it was snapped. 3-0 above the letters. He's seen 5 pitches today, walked on 4 and doubled on 1. And he'll put 2 on with 2 outs. With 2 outs in the top of the first inning, the Saints walked 3 times and had 2 hits. We'll see what the Larks can do with their 2-out rally after striking out 2 times, just like the Saints struck out 2 times to start the first. That'll bring us to Cam Pearson, the Fort Hays State Tiger. He walked in the first inning, and it's his 2nd year at the Larks. He's getting another look against the Saints. 2-away, first delivery above the letters and outside. 5 straight balls here from Gustin, and Rude's going to come out from behind the plate and have a chat with his southpaw. Gustin, the Aurora native, stays around his hometown to play summer ball. So we'll go 1-0, 2 away, 2 on. Last time the Larks had runners aboard first and second, they did a double steal and it paid off. Palmer does have speed from second. He's already stolen 1 base this inning. See if the Larks send him. He's running, had a great jump. The throw down to third is not going to be in time. It was a nice throw, but Tyler Palmer just too fast. Steals his 5th base of the season against Gameday. Checks on Sackett. They had a little collision. They check on each other, have some sportsmanship, and we'll get back and ready to compete against each other. Lawson steals his 2nd base of the day, and the Larks have stolen 4 so far against Gameday through the first 1 2/3. It's a 2-0 count, 6 straight balls here from Gustin. Pearson wants to make him pay. The 2-0 delivery home from the southpaw. Off speed that catches the outside corner, 2-1. Pearson this year, he's picked up 28 RBIs. That is team leading with Leo Jiminian, who will not be playing these next 2 games with the Larks. He flew back to France after the team fundraised for him to get some tickets back to see his family, who hadn't seen in 2.5 years. So happy for Leo, but his RBI leading total in jeopardy now. That was one of a few great moments this season that just show you how great this Larks team is and how they have each other's backs. Team fundraised for Leo, for him to go back and see his family in France before the NBC. They all rallied behind Luke after Luke's injury, and they continue to stay very bonded and close, and they won a lot of games together. This inning, they'll leave 2 on. They left 5 aboard the first 2 innings. That has been a problem all year for the Larks. That's just what comes with putting a lot of guys on. They get a single and a walk, but strike out 3 times. That is 5 strikeouts from Gustin, and we will go to the top of the 3rd as Castellucci will come to the mound replacing Brown. Top of the third here in a 4-0 ball game. Castellucci, the righty out in Napa, California, will take the mound from Cade Brown. Brown goes 2 innings, strikes out 5, and allows a couple of hits and 3 walks. Throws a 1-2-3 seconds. He was only scheduled to throw 2 innings, and now we'll go to Castellucci. This is Castellucci's 9th appearance of the season. His last was against the Cougars on Saturday, where he threw 1 inning, no hits, no runs. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Walks have just been the only thing for Max really this season. He struck out a lot of guys, but has walked 4 more guys than he struck out. Really keeps guys out of the hit column, and we'll see if he can keep it that way today. The 2-1 foul to the backstop. We'll go 2-2. So Brown's day is over after those 2 innings, and we'll get you his stats now. Through 51 pitches and 4 runs scored on them, all of them earned according to the official scorebook. Struck out 5 and walked 3. Payoff pitch on its way from Castellucci. This is Luke Bailey at the plate. He walked in the first inning and then scored the first run of the game on the overthrow. He'll foul this one off the plate, then off his shoulder, and we'll get another payoff pitch from Castellucci. Castellucci last played at Mission College. He's going to Sac State in Sacramento. He's a 6-foot righty. Season high for innings is a 3 1/3. That was against the Cannons back on the 6th. And season high in strikeouts is 3. He was in that game and the game before. He struck out 3 each. 1 against the Cannons, 1 against the Junction City Brigade. His second payoff pitch will run outside, and he walks his 19th hitter of the season. That is Bailey going to first. His second walk of the day through the first 3 innings. But to Peter Goldie, the first baseman, he walked. He was one of those 3 walks in a row. Three through 5 in the order. Each walked in the first, and then 3 through 7 in the order. 3 through 6 all scored in that first inning. Swing and a miss here. Castellucci gets him to swing above the off speed. We'll go 0-1. Castellucci will finish his career at Mission College undefeated, not losing a single game for the Saints. Played at Mission College Saints and is playing up against the Colorado Gameday Saints here. 1 ball and a strike here to the first baseman, Goldie. Castellucci not pitch against the Saints back in Colorado. Larks threw 6 pitchers over 2 games. 2 guys were repeated to make up for those 6 pitchers. So really only 4 different pitchers pitching that game. Throw down to second is not in time. Tag applied here by Lawson. That's Lung. And it is not in time. Bailey steals another base and puts himself in scoring position. I expect to see a lot of guys running today with the tone and the pace of this game. A 1-2 count here with the runner at second and nobody out. Castellucci delivers home, gets a line drive to left center field. That is going to drop between Palmer and Pearson, and the throw is going to be cut off at second base, and it pulls Lung off the bag. Had it been accurate, they would have got Goldie trying to be greedy. Instead, it's an RBI double, and Bailey scores his second run of the day. Goldie picks up an RBI. This game won't really matter for the Larks, win or lose. Already clinched their Rocky Mountain Baseball League championship. They've been in the league for 2 years and won both of the years pretty easily, actually, dropping only 2 games this year in league play. And so NBC ticket punched. League already won. This is one. Even though you're down by 5, you can come back. But no ton of pressure right now for the Larks. Showing bunt here is Best. His bunt will roll to the right side and foul. Will go 0-1 in the counts. Goldie at second base. That was his team-leading 26th RBI of the season. He brought home Bailey for Bailey's 17th run scored of 2021. 0-1. Corral has a chat with Castellucci. Castellucci will get some chalk on the hand. Hutchison and Loomis creep in on the outside corners of the infield. On the corners, Hutchison and Loomis, they're both Hayes natives, and they're playing for the Larks here in 2021. It's Hutchison's second full season, Loomis's first full season with the hometown team. 0-1 home from Castellucci, showing bunts again. Here is Best, the DH. Don't see a lot of DHs bunting, but he is here, and he doesn't make contact with this one, even though he held his bat up the entire time. He was the third of those 3 straight walks in the first inning. He also scored only 2 RBIs on the 5 runs today for Gameday. It's going to be 4 RBIs out of the 5 runs. Stats just now updated. Goldie has 1. Sackett has 1. And Rude has 2. The 1-2 home from Castellucci will wait as he steps off the rubber. Castellucci in his 2020 freshman shortened season at Mission College made 4 appearances and allowed just 1 hit. But again, walks were the thing, had 8 of them in the season. Gets a fly ball to right field. Schmidt will take a couple steps in on his run and record out number 1. His throw to third is a dime, but it pulled Hutchison off the back, but it won't matter. Goldie held up at second. Out number 1 with that runner at second. Best now 0 for 1.
The third baseman, number 3, Drew Sackett.
So we got to Drew Sackett, the third baseman. He doubled in the first inning and drove in a run, and then he later scored. Great night at the ballpark for some baseball. Castellucci looks at the runner at second, goes home. Showing bunts here again is Sackett after we saw 2 bunts attempts from Best. His pitch goes at his feet, so we'll go 1-0. Castellucci, no saves or wins or losses so far this season. So this one, unless the Larks score 5 runs with him on the mound, won't go down with another decision. He's thrown strikes on under 50% of his pitches this season. It's just been the location for him. That's led to the walks. And in today's game, he has thrown strikes on 60% of his pitches. 2-0 home for Max gets popped into center field. Lung jogs back, calls off Palmer and Schmidt, and records out number 2. Waits for the runner to tag back at second before throwing the ball to the infield. Third pitch of the AB. Sackett will be out. Now 1 for 2 with a double, and now out to Grant Lung. Runner at second with 2 away here in the top of the third. It's a 5-0 ball game. Satan scored 4 in the first inning, then went 1-2-3 in the second, and scored a run with nobody out here in this inning. Since then, Castellucci's gotten a fly out to right and a pop up to Lung. Max will go from the stretch. Outside part of the plate, fastball locates 0-1. This location again for Castellucci. He starts on under 50% of his batters with a first pitch strike. But when he does start batters out with a first pitch strike, he gets 67% of those guys out. So if he can just keep throwing strikes like he is here, it's going to be a bright future for him. And less than 10% of the time when he throws a first pitch strike does it result in a walk. 0-2 home. He hits a swing and a miss out of Rude. Strikeout number 15 of the season for Castellucci. A run scores in the third. Castellucci gets 3 outs in a row. Larks strike out their 6th of the game. Leave that runner at second here as we go to the bottom of the third, and Hayes down by 5. Bottom of the third, Wyatt Davis will lead it off for the Larks, the DH, 0 for 1 on the day. A lot of eyes looking for the record book for him, but he's not a guy that really focuses too much on that stuff. A ball rolls out of the game day dugout and to his feet. He's a guy that probably won't let that shake him up. So he was waiting his first pitch from Gustin in Gustin's third inning of work. Be sure to keep an eye on Davis over these next couple of games. He's looking for the on-base percentage record, the batting average record, slugging, and OPS record so far for the Larks. It's a team that has deep history. A lot of legends have played for the squad. Jim Leeritz, Lance Berkman, Jack Wilson, and obviously one of the greatest of all time, Albert Pujols, and Davis hanging with the best of them for the Larks. Has a 1-0 count. This one just catches the outside zone. Doug Clark shakes his head, the home plate umpire. Now nods. And I think that one was almost over the right-hander's batter's box. Larks fans thought it too. They give him some flack for that one. His zone been a little bit inconsistent today. And this one will miss outside. 2 balls and a strike. Saints are a team that has an ERA of 7.31. Larks team ERA over 4.36 under that. Saints have an on-base percentage. Opponent batting average of 390. Larks almost .80 under that. And Saints have given up 10 more home runs than the Larks pitching staff, but the Saints are the one to control this game. 3-1 hitters count to Davis. He will walk on 5 pitches. Davis led the team with 31 walks last year, Picks up his second walk of the season against Gameday. Larks have their second leadoff runner of the game. For Wyatt Davis, that is walk number 21 this season. He walked 49 times in 2018. That was the third most in Larks history, and continues his great career with the Hayes Larks here. 1-0 counts, 5 balls out of 6 pitches for Gustin to start this inning. Grant Schmidt at the plate. He struck out on a check swing in the first. As a 1-0 count, Gustin, the southpaw, will deliver home. It looks at Davis, Davis is not a guy who really steals, never has a big lead. Still looks at him, goes home, and Schmidt pops up to the second baseman, Hodges, for out number 1 of the third. So we'll go to Grant Lung. This is Lung's second full season with the Larks, his third different summer putting on the Larks uniform for at least a few games. Played for the Larks in the KCLB tournament in 2019 and then played in the NBC that same year, and has spent the past 2 summers fully with the Larks. First pitch to him catches the inside corner, 0-1. Davis has stolen 1 base this season and 1 attempt. Well, I don't expect him to see him running, especially with a lefty on the mound. This one just inside will go 1-1 after this slider misses the zone from Gustin. Gustin sports a number 98 jersey. Larks don't have anybody on the roster above 33 in terms of jersey numbers. Saints have a couple of guys in the 90s. Both of them are pitchers. 1-2 count here to number 2 with a runner at first with 1 away. Lung spent both games against the Saints at the top of the order, leading it off for the Larks against Gameday, and now is batting 5th in Game 3 of 4 against the Saints this season. Larks winning 18-16 in the last game, and this is the first matchup in 43 days against the Saints. So a lot of time between these two teams. Saints were games 1 and 4 of the Larks' first road trip. Game number 4. The first game was game number 4 total for the Larks this season, and they're going to be the opponent for the last 2 of the regular season. Larks are looking to add some games for this weekend, but we're not sure if they're happening, so we'll plan Like, these are our last two. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night. We've got some things to talk about, as it's the Larks' last guaranteed regular season of the game here on Larks Network. 2-2 counts. Lung reaches for one and sends it into the fan pavilion. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. You can never count the Larks out of a comeback, even though they're down by 5. I wouldn't be too worried, but the Saints are rolling. Lung cranks this one to right field. Bailey is in front of the warning track, puts his feet on the warning track, and gets under it. Well struck by Lung between the 319 and 349 signs, but it'll be reined in by the Gameday Saints. Saints have a very shallow outfield. Larks have hit very well, though, there over the past couple of years. And it's a little bit harder to hit one out of the park, but even though the Larks played the majority of their games here, and the Saints, the majority of their games at a smaller ballpark, Larks have hit 30 more home runs than the Saints. Lung now 0 for 1 today after being hit by a pitch in the first inning. We'll go now to Sam Crowell, who struck out to end the first inning. 2 away, Divis at first. His teammate Crowell at the plate, and Gustin has now hit 5 and 6 for the Larks order. His second hit batter of the game, his 4th in his last 2 appearances, and he puts 2 on. 1 on a walk, 1 on a hit by pitch. There's 2 away. Larks left 5 guys on base for the first 2 innings, and we'll get a courtesy runner here for Sam Crowell. It'll be his teammate from UTA, Zach Henry.
Courtesy runner for the Larks, number 12, Zach Henry.
Zach Henry leads the team with stolen bases with 25, but won't be attempting one here with Divis in front of him. Palmer Hutchison to the dish now. Hutch on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That was to lead off the second inning. Hutch has had 62 RBIs at KCK this year to lead the team. Also had 19 home runs. Was a JUCO National Player of the Week, and the year before that, or the week before that, was the Kansas JUCO Player of the Week. So got some national attention and caught the eyes of some scouts from other schools. He could still return to KCK if he wants to. Haven't heard anything from him on that in terms of what he's going to do. But whoever he goes to this fall, they're going to be very pleased as they're getting a great player. 0-1, he swings at one at the letters and can bring it into play. 0-2 on the count. Gustin struck out 5 through the first 2 innings and struck out 17 this year through 9 2/3. Pitch number 3 of the at-bat is delivered. It'll miss outside. He spins off the mound. Thought he had the strikeout, and it'll miss. We'll go back. 1-2. Hutchison has driven in 3 runs against Gameday this year. As that runner at second, and Divis put something into the gap and bring home the DH. 1-2 off speed. This one will catch Hutchison looking, and Gustin has now struck out 6 through 3 innings, number 18 on the season. And that'll end the 3rd inning. Larks continuing to leave guys on the bases. That is number 7 through 3 innings. That's 2 under the maximum. So we'll go to the 4th. Hayes down by 5. Top of the fourth, Castellucci returns for his second inning. Throws the first pitch, one fastball at the knees of Hodges. He pops it out of play over to the right side. Hodges 0-4 on the day after grounding out to Lung in the second. Howls against Cade Brown on the mound. 0-1 above the letters. Will go 1-1 with the counts. Castellucci saw 5 hitters in the third inning, walked 1 and allowed a double. 1 run scored. He left 1 guy on base in that third. Doesn't get the zone here. 2-1. Derek DeCalati down the dugouts using the bands to stretch his arms. We'll see if he comes in for the 5th. He's scheduled to come in for the 5th, but the Larks continue to play around. If Castellucci falls into a groove, no reason to take him out. 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on here in the top of the fourth. This one's grounded hard to Hutchison. It's off his glove. Lawson recovers it from him, throws to first. Not in time. Loomis' scoop unsuccessful. It's going to be a nice infield single after the left side of the infield combines for a great defensive play. It's not in time at first, though. So he will go with a leadoff infield single from Hodges.
The center fielder, number 6, Braden Luft.
Takes us to the bottom of the order, Braden Luft, out of the Masters University in Colorado. He's a sophomore outfielder. So he's getting the start in center field. He shows bunts. Castellucci throws one over the plate at eye level, and we'll go 1-0. Larks have just 1 game left after this. It's against the Gameday Saints to complete this 2-game series. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night. First pitch at 7 p.m. 1-0, runners taken off. The ball is flown into center field. Palmer moves back, records the catch, and won't get the throw at first in time. Larks had an outfield double play the other day. This one won't count the same as that one. I don't even think the best of the MLB throwing that one into first in time. So after the single from Hodges, we get an outs from Luft. Luft now 0 for 2, and it takes us to the top of the order. Albaugh to the dish. Shortstop, batting number 1. 1 and 2 in the order. 4 plate appearances and 4 strikeouts. And he sends his first pitch to center field. Tyler Palmer lets it drop. Doesn't throw into second. Trying to get Hodges stuck between the base paths. And Hodges really read it well and takes second base. Albaugh gets his first hit of the day. And there's 2 on with 2 singles with 1 out. Castellucci has now allowed 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 1, and gotten 4 outs with 1 earned run. And DeCalati and Evans make their way to the bullpen for the Hayes Larks. Nobody up and moving for the pen for Gameday. 1 away, Castellucci's first delivery just above the letters here to Noah Vogel, 1-0. Vogel, 2 strikeouts in 2 innings against Cade Brown. Was out number 2 the first and out number 3 the second. One after the swing and the miss. Vogel from Northwestern College in Iowa going up against the Mission College Saints. Pitch number 3, the AB over the outside part of the plate. We'll go 1-2 with the counts. Top of the fourth in a 5-0 ball game. Larks need a rally here. Runners at first and second. Albaugh at first, Hodges at second. And the 1-2 goes between Crowell's legs. He chases it to the backstop. Double play now off the table after this one gets behind him. Albaugh to second, Hodges to third. 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And a 2-2 count. Derek DeCalati now up and throwing. Also, you got Divis stretching in the dugouts. I also expect to see him on the mound after DeCalati. Round through 2 innings, Castellucci's thrown 1 1/3. Catches the low outside corner. Perfectly placed pitch here from Castellucci. Gets a sign, and through 4 innings, the Larks duo of Brown and Castellucci give Vogel the hat trick. Two swinging, one looking. Now there's two away. Castellucci left one aboard in the third. Wants to make it two left on base here in the fourth. Now 1 2/3. This is Castellucci's now tied for third longest outing of the season. And the first pitch home will hit Luke Bailey in the helmet. Takes it in stride and sprints to first base. Third hit by pitch we've seen today, the first from the Larks pitching staff, and that loads the bases. Castellucci has now hit 4 batters this season through 14 innings on the rubber. Bases jacked for the cleanup hitter, Peter Goldie. He's 1 for 1 with a double, a walk, a run scored, and a run driven in. Castellucci has left a total of 19 guys left on base and throws a first pitch ball here to the first baseman. Goldie from Seward County got up against Castellucci. 1-0 home from Max. This one just misses the low inside corner. 2-0. Big at bat here. This could swing momentum for the Larks or put on even more runs for the Saints. Larks have given up 5 hits. They also have an error. They have walked 4 batters. Strike 1 here, the AB, 2-1 in the count. 2 balls away from a walk, 2 away from a strikeout. This one going to be big. 2-1 count, 2 away, bases loaded here in the top of the 4th. Hayes down by 5. Divis now makes his way to the bullpen. This one's hit well to left field, but Goldie pretty early on it. And Castellucci now has a 2-2 count. Goldie read that one well to the barrel of his bat. If he waited a little bit longer, would have been a different story. Big pitch coming, count even, 2-2, 2 away. Castellucci fastball home, outside, big payoff pitch coming. This is the 3rd time through the order for the Saints. We're at the cleanup guy. Crowell gives Castellucci the signs. Max takes a deep breath and will go from the stretch. Offsets his front foot. Brings it up, goes home. This one's lined well to left field. Tyler Palmer's moving back, and it's going to go foul of a grand slam. It was over the wall, but it went foul. That's the second one that Goldie's hits well to left field. Both of them roll foul. That one, almost a grand slam. Larks played 3 games against the Cougars, and in June, and hit 2 grand slams against them in those 2 games. We were almost on the other side of that. Crowell has a chat here with Castellucci, puts his arm around his pitcher, and we get time here. So now we've seen you can't give Goldie something good to hit, but we can't walk a guy home and keep Castellucci out in the heat. Runners returned back to their bases. Payoff pitch number 2 popped up into center field. Palmer and Lung move towards it. They get called off by Grant Schmitz. And that is a big pitch from Castellucci. He leaves the bases loaded, and he shows his clutch gene. Larks don't give up a run here in the 5th, and will look to rally with some momentum in the bottom half of the 4th.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Bottom of the fourth, Loomis to lead it off here against Guston. Guston's first pitch off speed drops low. 1-0 here against Loomis, tonight's first baseman. Loomis has got a few games at first this season after being a catcher mostly through the month of June. Tough swing here from Loomis. 1-1 counts. He's 0 for 1 today against Guston after striking out in the seconds. Takes this one off the inside of his bats. We'll go 1-2 with the counts. Larks brought 5 hitters to the plate in the third. Left 2 on. They left 7 aboard through the first 3. That continues to be a big issue for the Larks. Guston will deliver inside 2-2. Thought he had strikeout number 7 of the day. Loomis, Hayes native, played at Butler Community College in 2021 after graduating high school in 2020. Guston missed way outside. We'll go 3-2. Loomis spent this past spring redshirting for the Grizzlies and will compete for the starting catcher spots for the 2022 season. 6'1" freshman, about 2 years left of JUCO eligibility. This one misses inside. He's rounding first hard, trying to trips on his way to first, but he'll stay there at first. Couldn't tell if it hit him or if it was a walk. I don't think he'd be sprinting if it was a hit by pitch, so put it as a walk as we go to Tyler Palmer. Larks will have a courtesy runner likely, and I'm not sure why we're not running for their catcher Brock Loomis. We've almost always had a courtesy runner for every time he's gotten aboard. And when you got guys like Zach Henry on the bench, not sure why we're not going to utilize him and give Brock some time. Runner at first. Palmer shows bunts, pulls back, and we'll go 0-1 with the count. Derek Dekalai looks done in the pen, and now Wyatt Divis throwing some heat up there on the left field side. 0-1 count here to Tyler Palmer. He singled in the second, got all the way to third, and is one of 7 guys left on board in the first 3 innings. Larks left the bases loaded in the first. They actually had 2 in scoring position with nobody out. And they couldn't bring anything from it. Put 2 aboard in the second, left them in scoring position, and then puts 2 aboard in the third, left 1 in scoring position, and left 1 at first. Guston, a southpaw, will go from the stretch. Looks at Loomis a while and goes home. Fastball misses the low inside corner, 1-2. Hayes down by 5. Saints got their 5 runs in the first 3 innings. Castellucci kept him off the board for the 4th, and now Divis comes back to the dugout from the pen. The 1-2 home. Palmer checks his swing, and the appeal unsuccessful for the Saints. We'll go 2-2. Guston's now thrown 74 pitches, 37 of those in the strike zone, throwing strikes at just around 50% of his pitches, or actually now exactly at 50% of his pitches, 74 pitches, 37 strikes. He's given up 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 4 walks. He's also hit a guy. He's actually hit 2 guys. And that one will be a check swing in the favor of the Saints. Larks strike out for the 7th time today, and it's a team that just hasn't looked like themselves today. They usually score in the first 4 innings and don't give up 4 runs in the first. And after that first inning, Saints set the tone, and they've had the upper hand the whole rest of the way. And not sure what's going wrong with the Larks today, but it has been uncharacteristic. And we'll get time here. 1 away, Loomis at first as we go to Cortland Lawson. Lawson, 2 plate appearances, 2 times on board. Both times got into scoring position and was left there. Doubled on 1 pitch to start off the bottom of the first, and then walked in the second. Takes a first pitch strike, nods at it, and we'll go 0-1 with the counts. Loomis looks ready to run at first base. We'll see if he has a green light. Not exactly a speed threat, and he holds up. 0-1 outside, 1 ball and a strike here. Loomis just one of 2 guys to not attempt a single stolen base this season, along with Grant Lung. 1-1 is the count, actually. And now we'll go 2-1. Bottom of the 4th here, 1 away. Runner at first. Hayes down by 5. I think we'll probably see DeCalati come in for the 5th. Lawson rides one to center field. Luft moves back and will come back in. One well struck, but it's to the deepest part of the ballpark. And Lawson will fly out to center field for the first time. And he goes back to the dugout with an out. 2 away as we go to Cam Pearson. Larks have leadoff walks in the 3rd and 4th inning. Want to change their luck here in the 4th. There's 2 away as we go to Cam Pearson. Cam on the day 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Austin's pitch counts pushing 80. Nobody moving in the pen for the Saints right now as Pearson swings and misses one towards his feet. Davis on deck with Schmidt in the hole. This is Cam's 2nd year with the Larks. After spending 2 years at Cochise College, the 6'2 freshman played in all 32 games for the Hayes Larks last summer, picked up 44 hits, leading the team and led the team in stolen or total bases with 77. Also was tied for the team lead in home runs with 5 of those. 0-2 count here to Cam. Gustin delivers inside. Pearson spins dramatically out of the way. Will go 1-2. Davis on deck with Schmidt in the hole. 1-2 home. It's below the knees. 2-2. Pearson batting .406 this season, has an on-base percentage of .457, and goes down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Larks leave their 8th guy aboard in the 4th, walking 1 time, and then Gustin gets 3 straight outs, striking out his 7th guy of the game. So that'll take us to the 5th inning. Hayes down by 5, and I think Derek DeCalati is coming in from the pen.
Leading off the Gameday Saints, the designated.
2-0 count, 1 away here after the little technical difficulty there. Best grounded outs. Now we'll go to Drew Sackett, 1 for 2 on the day with a double, a run scored, and a run driven in. 3 straight balls here in this AB from Derek DeCalati. He's thrown 5 pitches, 4 of them missed the zone here. Gets this one in the zone, taking it is Sackett, the third baseman. For Derek DeCalati, this is his 5th appearance of the season. His last one was against the Cougars, where he went 4 innings in the starts and got the loss. Had just 1 earned run, but 6 runs scored on him. Larks again, just error after error. They have some games where they look like the best defensive team in all of summer ball, and they've had maybe 4 or 5 games where they've given up way too many errors. A couple of them were against the Saints, where they gave up 13 errors over the course of 2 games. Payoff pitch from DeCalati. He gets it past Sackett. He'll celebrate that one as he picks up strikeout number 8 on the season through 8 2/3. That is the 7th batter that the Larks have struck out today. Now there's 2 away with the bases empty. So we'll go to Jack Rood. Rood on the day 1 for 2. He singled in the first and then struck out in the third. That first inning single brought home 2 runs. Numbers 3 and 4 of the inning. And the Saints got their 5th run in the third. 1-0 home. It's over the outside part of the plates. 1 ball and a strike here from DeCalati. He's a Nevada commit after spending 3 years at South Mountain. He's had 3 appearances in relief for the Larks and struck out 8 guys, walked just 2, and has just 1 earned run, an ERA under 1, and a whip at 1 exactly. And it'll go down after those 2 outs once the stats get updated after the game. The 1-2 home takes this one off the inside of the bats of Rood after blowing the previous one by him. Great day at the ballpark. A large turnout here to witness game 1 of 2 against the Saints. DeCalati from the windup, the 1-2 off the end of the bat. We'll go 1-2 again. Hodges on deck with Luft in the hole. 2 for the Larks in the bottom of the 5th will be Divis, Schmitz, and Lung, 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Some very talented hitters trying to get momentum back in the favor of the Birds. 1-2 home, pop fly over to the left side. Pearson races. He makes a sliding catch, sliding into foul territory. A great play from the future Fort Hays State Tiger. Fires him up. Let's see if he can fire up the bats as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Hays scoreless, down by 5 against the Gameday Saints. Bottom of the fifth, Davis the 3-hole will lead it off for the Larks. Davis on the day, 0 for 1 with a walk. Takalani just threw a 1-2-3 fifth. Davis looking to get things rolling for the Larks. This is the second inning he's led off, and it's his second straight at bat after walking to lead off the third. Got to second base and then was left there. Larks have left 8 aboard today through the first 4 innings. 1-1 home from Guston in his 5th inning of work, misses outside. Guston has now thrown 11 innings this season, giving up just 2 earned runs. Ground ball goes to the shortstop, all ball. Davis runs to first, but he doesn't get there in time. A nice scoop from Goldie. Gets out number 5, and now we've seen 4 straight Larks retired. 1 away as we go to Grant Schmidt, the Fort Hays State Tiger. Davis, after walking in the 3rd inning, puts his on-base streak at 25 games. He's been aboard in every single game he's played in this season for the Larks. Had an 18-game hitting streak a little bit ago. That was snapped in Game 1 against the Cougars. 0-1 counts here to Schmidt after he sends that one over the grandstand and into the parking lot. Oh, outside on the off-speed, 1-1. Guston threw 4 in the 3rd, thrown over 90 pitches, on around 51% of them strikes, giving up 2 hits, striking out 8 guys and walking 4. Schmidt rolls this one down to the third base line. It goes foul. Will go 1-2. Guston struck out 2 in the 4th, and then 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 2nd, 2 in the 1st. Go 1-2 count here against Schmidt. He'll get some grip for his bats and get back to the right-hander's batter's box. Schmidt is one of 7 guys with an OPS above 1. Larks just continuing to put guys on base and bring them home. The team OPS nearly at 1. The team on base percentage plus slugging is .996 this season. That is just ridiculous. This is a team that scores. They haven't yet today. And they're looking for their first runs here. It's just been a great outing from Guston, and the Larks really haven't looked like themselves at the plate. Don't mean to be repetitive, but that's just the way it's been today. 2-2. Schmidt takes it off the inside of his bat to his feet. Will stay 2-2 with 1 away and the bases empty here in the bottom of the 5th. Hays has only lost 1 game this entire month. Don't want to make it 2. And Schmitz will be struck out for the 2nd time today. Not happy with that call. Rudin Guston will take it. Now there's 2 away. Number 9 on the day for Guston in the K column. Now we'll go to Grant Lung. Lung on the day 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning to load the bases. Then Corral struck out to leave him there. And then Lung in the 3rd inning flew out to right field. It was one that was well hit to Bailey. Bailey was on the warning track. Now was out number 2 of the inning. Swung a strike here to Lung on the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th. The first pitch to Lung with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. This one above the letters, 1 ball and a strike. 2 away, bases empty. Larks got to do something to put themselves back in this one. Lung steps away as we go 2-1. Grant this season close to the 1 OPS club. Has an OPS of 936. This one will bounce outside, 3-1. Long has 27 hits this season. He's driven in 20 runs and scored 24 himself. This is his 23rd game suiting up for the Larks this season, and he takes his 5th pitch of the AB out of play and into the Larks bullpen. Davis chases it down, takes a break from warming up. Brady Evans heads down to the pin to catch for him. 3-2 count here to the second baseman from the University of Sioux Falls. Grant has spent a lot of this month at first base, but is now getting the start at the position that he's been most familiar with in his collegiate career. Payoff pitch home to Long. He grips it to right field. Bailey comes in on this one and makes a sliding catch, and Long has brought the ball to right field 2 times well tonight and has been out 2 times to Bailey. Larks go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Gustin has now retired 6 straight. Larks will look to get into the pen of the Saints in the 6th inning. They'll trail by 5 through 5. Top of the 6th we go. First pitch from Decolati taken to Loomis. He tags the bag himself, route number 1. So 1 pitch in and out for Decolati, who threw a 1-2-3 5th. He's seen 4 guys and sent them all back to the dugouts with a ground out to start the 5th. Then he struck out and flew out a couple guys, and now he gets another ground out here for the 6th. 1 away, base is empty. Hayes down 5-0 against the Saints. Guy headed to the Nevada Wolfpack, and this is outside 1-0. Derek, a 5'10 sophomore from South Mountain CC. This year he made 14 appearances. There went 2-2, and this one gets grounded under his feet. It rolls into center field, and that's going to be the first base runner against Derek today. And there's 1 on with 1 out. Larks went 1-2-3 in the 5th, just like the Saints did. Each team started the inning with a ground out, then struck out, and then flew out. That was Braden Love, who just singled. He's now 1 for 3 on the day. We'll go to the top of the order now. Caleb Outball, shortstop, 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts against Cade Brown. Then he singled against Castellucci and he is getting his first look at the Larks' 3rd pitcher. Oh, 1 count after the foul off. Outball has an 0-2 count now. He's from Metro State University, stays in Colorado after playing there for his collegiate play. Now he's playing summer ball in the same states. Decolati made 33 appearances in his career for South Mountain, picking up 4 wins, had 7 starts, 26 appearances in relief, picked up 1 save over his 3 years. That was in his freshman season in 2019. 0-2 home. Runner starts to break for seconds and then gets looked back to the bag. Decolati misses. Scores. Shows 1-2. Likely see Divis for the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Runner does break for second officially now, as this one gets grounded into the Larks dugout. Will stay 1-2. Castellucci's last inning was in the 4th. He saw 6 hitters, had the bases loaded, and then got a clutch pop out to Lung after a foul ball was taken deep to left field. He recovered and got the last out. This one's popped up. Lung goes back and reaches, and it will drop between him, Schmitz, and Palmer. And the throw to second is not in time. That's a one-out single for Caleb Alball. Now 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats, and Decolati is allowed 2 straight to get aboard. Left goes to second on the single. So we go to Noah Vogel here. 1 away. That one's just tough. I'm not sure who was going to get to that one, and nobody did. But that sets up an inning-ending double play for the Larks. 1 away, 2 on. 1 in scoring position at second. And the throw home gets away from Crowell, and Luft is very hesitant at second and ends up holding up. Crowell is limping back behind the dish and will get some stuff adjusted on his gear. Count will stand at 1-0 here against Noah Vogel. He's been hat-tricked in this game already. Struck out 2 times against Caden Brown in the 1st and the 2nd. Then Castellucci caught him looking for his 3rd strikeout of the day in the 4th inning. He's the only guy in the lineup tonight to not get aboard for the Saints. Looking to change his luck here against Decolati. 1-0 home. Runners taking off. Krause throw to third. Not in time. And we'll go 1-1 with the counts. So 1-1, 1 away, two in scoring position now after the double steal. That's the second double steal we've seen today. Alba to second, Huff to third, and now that inning-ending double play off the table for Derek Decolati. So he'll set up, go from the stretch, 1-1 home, chopped over the right side. Decolati, the 5'10 sophomore. He needs a couple more outs to send us to the bottom of the 6th. Hayes, no strangers to rallying against the Saints this year. We're down by 10 in game 2 against them, and then won that one 18-16 in 12 innings. That was a big game. Wyatt Divis, the winner of both games against the Saints in Colorado. Won game 1 when he started, and then won game 2 in relief, pitching the 11th and 12th innings for the Hayes Larks. And expect to see him for the 7th, 8th, and 9th. He's done warming up in the pen. Decolati, 1-2 counts on its way here to Vogel. It's one that's lined to the backstop. We'll go 1-2 again. Luke Bailey on deck with Peter Goldie in the hole. This is Vogel's first look at the third pitcher of the game for the Larks. Infield playing in with that runner at third and only one out. Toes on the green here at Larks Park for Lawson, Loomis, and Hutch. Lung a little bit back at second. Now creeps in, and Decolati gets his second strikeout of his 5th outing. And now there's 2 away, and we only need 1 more out. For Derek Decolati, that is his 9th strikeout of the season through 9 2/3 on the rubber. Scoreboard on the stream has lost connection. We'll get that set up and get it corrected. Top of the 6th, 2 away, 2 in scoring position. That will take us to the 3-hole. Luke Bailey, he's been aboard 3 times today without a hit. He's walked 2 times and been hit by a pitch. 1-0 Krause saves this one. That is Luft at third, Alba at second. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of this inning, trying to get things going. Will be Corral, Hutchison, and Loomis for the Larks. A 1-0 count. Decolati goes home and catches the outside corner. Nice placement of the pitch. And now the count is even at 1. Big at bat here for Bailey. Hitless today, but has been aboard 3 separate times. The 1-1 home, swung on and missed. And a big 1-2 pitch coming from Derek. Derek, Vegas native. Larks have seen quite a few guys come out of Vegas and pitch for the Larks over the past few years. Derek, the latest, has a 1-2 count with 2 outs and 2 on here in the top of the 6th. It's home, and he gets his second straight strikeout and leaves 2 on and sends us to the bottom of the 6th, where Corral, Hutchison, and Loomis will look to get things going for the favor of the Larks. Bottom of the 6th, Sam Corral, the UTA Maverick, will lead it off for the Larks. Corral today 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. New pitcher into the game for the Gameday Saints is Drake LaRoche out of Neosho County Community College. Larks had a player there last year in Cruz Aranda, who's now at Pitt State. Pitt State, a rival of Fort Hays State, and we got Fort Hays State pitcher on the mic, Hunter Parker. Hunter, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
1-2 counts. Glad to have you in the booth here as we'll get into a breakdown of this game in a little bit. And it's your feel on the season. We have a 1-2 count. LaRoche sends one to Corral, and Corral sends it into right center. Bailey and Luft move towards it, and Bailey is the one who will reel it home in right field. Corral now 0 for 2.
The third baseman, number 4.
I thought that was going to get the Bermuda Triangle in between the second baseman, center fielder, right fielder there.
We saw one drop a little bit ago for the Larks' favor, and this one obviously not ball in our favor. So LaRoche delivers home to Hutchison, 1-0 counts. For LaRoche, this is his 13th appearance on the season. He has an ERA above 7 and a whip of 2 exactly. Hutch over the outside corner, 1-1. Hutchison on the day, 0 for 2. Looking to change his efforts as a 1-1 count here.
I think he's due.
I mean, Hutch is a guy who just keeps finding a way to get a board, and it seems to be the theme for the team. I mean, as a pitcher, what does it mean to know that when you're on the mound, your offense has your back every single game?
Oh, it's definitely a comforting feeling. It makes you go out there with a lot more confidence. You feel like you can place the ball wherever, knowing that your guys are going to put up some runs for you.
And the deep pitching has been good this season. Larks have a team ERA under 3. Saints a little different, team ERA over 7, but when the pitching and the offense is working together, that is huge, and I think that's what we're going to see at the NBC. What's your mindset heading into the NBC World Series? First, let's talk about this hit from Hutchison. You said he's due, takes one to left center, and it drops for a base hit.
Good job, Hutch. My personal mindset is just pretty much keep the calm, cool, collected. But other than that, as a team, we're all pretty well gelled together, and we know how each other move, and it's really helpful going into a tournament like this.
This is a team that has some of the best chemistry I've seen from any summer league team. What's it been like just having a team that's really like glued together and winning together?
It's something different, I'll tell you that. It's an experience, that's for sure.
For sure, man. We'll go to pinch hitter Zach Henry, hitting for Brock Loomis. Loomis will finish his day 0 for 1. Henry, courtesy ran earlier in the game, and is now getting his first at-bats. Henry, this year against the Gameday Saints, has scored 3 different times. He's driven in a run with a hit. 0-1 count, one away with Hutchison at first for the UTA outfielder. We'll see who takes over first base now with Loomis out of the order. 1-1 here to Henry. Henry this year leading the team in stolen bases with 25. He's currently batting .342 with an on-base percentage of nearly .490 for the Larks.
It's fast.
He's extremely fast. We got some really good base runners.
Oh, yeah.
Palmer, Zach, and as Henry takes this one to left field, and that one is gone.
Yes, sir.
Larks hit their 3rd home run of the season against the Gameday Saints. It's a 2-run shot from Zach Henry. That is his 2nd home run of the season. Picks up RBIs 18 and 19. How you feeling after that one?
I feel like I got to come up here more often.
Yeah, good luck, Charlie.
I guess.
We get 2 hits, one of them a home run, and we cut the deficit to 3. Hutchison scores his first run of the game, number 27 of the season. And that one, a huge hit.
The center fielder, Tyler Palmer.
That's awesome. We're going to get a couple more here and seal up the deal here in the 8th.
Is this a little bit reminiscent of Game 2 against the Saints in Denver, where we were down, and then all of a sudden, one spark hit, and then things just started rolling? Do you think that's going to happen again?
Absolutely. I mean, that seems to be the trend. When we're down, we find a spark late, and it just builds off that. And it's tremendous what we do, you know, that Larks magic.
Larks magic for sure. As a team, as guys have been saying, it's been a saying around, but this team has, I've heard guys saying it more often this year than I've heard in the past. It's just like a mindset almost that everybody's bought into, and like there's never a doubt. We were down by 10 runs, nobody in the dugout. I remember I heard Cav in the dugout say in like the 5th inning, just, oh, we're winning this game.
Yeah.
Said it so confidently, like the magic keeps happening. We walked off a team 2 times this year, and we've had big comebacks in it. I don't know. You never count this team out.
Yeah, absolutely. When we're in the dugout, there's never a doubt that we're going to win this game. Every single game.
1-2 here to Tyler Palmer, who is leading the team in home runs with Grant Schmidt after that home run. He has 7. The Larks have now hit 47 home runs. They have 31 more home runs in this season and the Gameday Saints, and they hit their 3rd off of them here in 2021. Tyler rips this one foul. We've seen, actually that's the 4th home run. We saw 1 from Evans and then 2 from Leo Jiminian, who obviously not with the team right now, going back to see his family with France, but that's just an awesome thing for him. He hasn't seen him for a while. And talking about it, the Larks gel together. And I think that just showed it. Like, this team has each other back, fundraising, pitching in money to get them back home.
Absolutely. It's, like I said, it's something different. This team is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
I mean, they just guys who seem to have fun too. I mean, everything's better when you're winning. You're gonna have more fun after wins.
Right.
But I mean, these guys just having fun, enjoying the summer, and I think I really like our odds heading into the NBC World Series.
We're gonna carry that fun into the World Series, that's for sure.
For sure. Got a few weeks in Hunch, and then we'll be headed to Wichita if we keep winning. Palmer pops this one up. And it comes in the middle infield. 3 guys move towards it, and Goldie's going to be the one who calls off the other 2 middle infielders to record out number 2 of the inning. So that'll take us to the top of the order. Cortland Lawson, the shortstop, a double and a walk on the day. He's 1 for 2. He's gotten in the scoring position 2 times, and the Larks haven't been able to bring him home. Larks have left 8 guys aboard through the first 4 innings, but bring home their first and second runs of the game here in the 6th inning.
I'm excited for Cortland's at bat right here. I just have a feeling.
I mean, we've had guys up in the booth call stuff all the time. You said you were feeling Hutch due for hits. Kavanaugh called Tyler Palmer's home run the last game, and so, hey, we'll take your word for it and expect something big out of the Tennessee Volunteer. 0-2 here to Cortland. Cortland is one of 3 guys in the 500 OBP club, along with Brady Evans and Wyatt Divis. And he has a 1.207 OPS. Just great numbers for Quartz. 0-2 outside. We'll go 1-2 at the count, 2 away. Cortland, his first game at the top of the order after spending time at 3rd, 4th, and 5th. A few games at 6th of the orders. Mostly stayed around the middle of the order, but today letting him lead off. Takes this one to the dugouts. Almost takes out Frank Leah. 1-2 here to Lawson. Pearson on deck with Divis and the whole Pearson. Soon to be your teammate at Fort Hays. How big of a get is that guy for the Tigers?
He brings a different type of energy, that's for sure. I have a feeling that he's one of the main reasons that we're always so pumped up in the dugout. He brings that energy, and he's a great teammate to have, that's for sure.
I mean, the guys love him. The fans love him. I think Cam knows that the fans love him. He likes the spotlight a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's a great guy. Great pickup for Fort Hays, and he's a great player for the Larks over the past 2 seasons. 2-2 count here to Lawson. He said big at bat coming. Pulls his hands inside and rips it to left field, but foul. Will stay at 2-2. Larks, go ahead.
If he gets a fastball here, this is it. If this is a fastball.
All right, well, I hope we get a fastball so we can see it. Larks have won 16 of their 17 games this month. They just keep winning after winning. After a tough end to the month of June, they have been on fire. And you need to be in the month of July on fire as Cortland gets one over the outside of the zone. He's unhappy with Doug Clark's call, and that is going to end the 6th inning. Tough call right there. That'll end the inning. Hayes gets 2 runs off of the home run from Zach Henry, and we'll go to the 7th. Hayes down 5-2. Top of the 7th, we go. Divis will take over on the mound. He's the 4th pitcher of the game for the Larks, replacing Dick Aladi after 2 scoreless innings. And Divis gets a first pitch strike here against the leadoff hitter, Peter Goldie, the first baseman. Goldie had the bases loaded in the 4th inning, almost hit a grand slam, but it went about 10 feet foul. And then on the next pitch, Castellucci got him to pop up in the middle infield to end the inning. Divis been huge for the Larks all summer on the mound and at the plate. And this time, getting a step on the rubber after 3 at-bats. So we got an 0-2 count here against Goldie, the first baseman. He's 1 for 2 today with a double, and Divis gets him on 3 strikes. The Larks have struck out 3 straight Gameday Saints, and there's 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Divis this season, he is making, give me a second with this one, appearance number 10 of the season, his 6th in relief. He started 4 games, and then we got the guy who leads the team and starts on the mic, and Hunter Parker. Divis this year 5-1 on the season, ERA just at 1.41, and he's been a great team leader and a great team player this season. Gets a pop fly from Best over the grandstand. 0-1 count here from Wyatt Divis out of UTA. So his 4th year with the Larks uniform, he's a certified Larks legend. Under the lights here in Hays, Kansas. This is Best at the plate. Owen Best, the DH, 0 for 2 in his last at-bats after walking against Cade Brown the first inning. Sends this fly ball to Grant Schmidt. Schmidt takes a few steps and records out number 2. So Schmidt, your teammate at Fort Hays State, you're one of 2 guys to stay in Hays for the summer after playing at Fort Hays State. Why'd you stay in Hays, and what brought you to the Larks, Hunter?
Well, being on the Tigers for 2 years, you know, I got to know the town a little bit. I got to know the people, the community, and it's just a great baseball town, and everybody knows everybody, and it's a good community to be a part of. And obviously the Larks are a winning team with a winning tradition and got a good coaching staff, and I mean, all those decisions impacted my choice on the summer team, and that's pretty much why I chose to stay here.
Okay. I assume you're happy with your decision?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's been an electric summer for the Larks, and the Larks looking to get the bats electric here after Divis looks round number 3. You've been dominant in the month of July, just like the team. You've had a couple of great games against Junction City and a lot of other ones. What's been the key to your success in this month?
Well, I mean, sometimes you just need a little wake-up call, and I appreciate the Saints for giving it to me in Colorado, and told myself to keep my mindset calm and collected, and that's when I'm most successful. So.
For sure, man. I mean, we talked about that game earlier, and we talked about the offense having your back, put up 18 runs behind you. I mean, and it's been dominant for you ever since that. It's been dominant for the Larks. And I know offense, as much as you appreciate the offense giving you runs, I know they appreciate you on the mound, keeping them off the scoreboard. So that's going to end the top of the 7th. All right, so that'll send us to the 7th inning stretch here in Hays. Hays down by 3. Cam Harrison to lead things off after the 7th inning stretch. Came on the day 0 for 2. He's also due for a hit coming up here against LaRoche. LaRoche, in his 2nd inning of work, throws a first pitch strike here to the Fort Hays State Tiger. Harrison getting the start in left field after spending his past few games in the infield. One ball and a strike.
Yeah, a couple rumors going around that Cam's going to be an outfielder over an infielder at Fort Hays. But I personally like him over at second base.
He's been pretty good. He got some flack in that game that you pitched at first base. He had a few errors, and the team gave him some flack. But since then, he's been pretty good on the infield for the Larks.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, he does some unnecessary flashy stuff sometimes, but sometimes you just got to do it.
I mean, he puts on a show for the fans, and that's all they can ask for. We got a great turnout tonight. What's it like to been having that fan base that's, pull 1,000 fans at a night? What's that been for you as that support?
Well, when it was about 100 degrees and games first started, we, as a team, looked up in the stands and said, wow, that's a big turnout for how hot it is. Fans are really committed. And, I mean, it's great to have that fan base. Like I said, this community is great.
Yeah, it's been. And turnout's been great all season long. Game 1 of the season, 2,000 fans. That was an electric atmosphere, and they haven't gave up since then. And the team's been putting on a show for them, winning 28 games. 7 more games than they won last year, even combining the NBC tournament into that. So this team's just been on fire this year.
We're something special, that's for sure. And I've been talking to all the coaches about it and all the parents that have been around watching the past teams, and they'd all agree with me. This team is something special.
I had Crown on the mic earlier in the season. It was game 8 or something. He put me on the spot. I was like, who would win, this year's team versus last year's team? And I stuttered. And but after watching this full season, there's no doubt in my mind that this team, it's one of the best I've ever seen. And for the Larks, out of the 19 years of my living in Hays.
And that's no disrespect to Larks legend Ryan Reuter, of course.
No, Rudy's a great guy. He's been a great guy on the mound. We've had some great teams, but this team, like you said, is just special, man. This is Wyatt Davis at the plate, the pitcher. 0 for 2 in the day, but his walk put his on-base streak at 25 games back in the 3rd inning. One away, base is empty. He needs to get something going for the offense as a 2-1 count. Now a 3-1 count, hitters counts for Wyatt Davis, his 2nd 3-1 count of the game. He started most of the games at the start of the season. Started 3 of his first 4 appearances, but then as of late, he's been coming in relief because they can use his bat as a DH and then comes in pitch. They lose a DH, but it's Wyatt Davis, so he gets to stay and hit, and they've loved that. He's on pace for 4 different records for the Larks this season. I know you talk about him being a great teammate in the top half of this inning on the mound, but, just a great guy, and he'll walk here.
Excellent guy to be around, that's for sure. He's there to tell you how it is. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. He's definitely a guy you want on your team.
He's always somebody does something wrong or maybe something right. I always see him talking and then giving him encouragement or a critique or something, especially during BP. I've seen him do it with Dylan Dreiling a lot. It's the high schooler, just pull him aside and just chat with him, and I think that's huge.
Absolutely.
And I know Jared Goodell's going to appreciate that one next year with him on the staff.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great leader. Great guy to be around, too.
On the way, as we hear it go to Grant Schmidt, 0 for 3 in the day. Teammates with Grant Schmidt at Fort Hays. What do you think about his approach to the plate?
Personally, I'd like to see him hit that or lay off that high fastball a little bit more. I got to face him a lot these past 2 years at Hays, so I know that's his weakness right there. I've tried to tell him a little bit, but it's an irresistible pitch from what I hear, and he's a great guy too. Can really hit the ball.
Absolutely. One of 7 different guys with an OPS above 1. It's tied with Tyler Palmer for the team lead in home runs, and he's just been pretty much always hanging around the cleanup spot in the order, and he's back there tonight. He's due for a hit. Larks out just 4 hits today. They're down by 3, but the tying run is on deck, and it's Grant Long. 2-1 count here to Wyatt Davis. Grant Schmidt. Too many different guys on the field.
Yeah.
Grant Long on deck, Grant Schmidt at the plate, Wyatt Davis at first base. And he rips this one to left field. If it's fair, it's big, but it'll go just foul. He struck down one.
Saw a lot of those this last spring, too. Long foul balls from Grant Schmidt.
I mean, he's been a pull hitter this year for the Larks. Most of his home runs have been to left field. That one just a little too early. If he waits just a second, extra bases for the Tiger.
You see him during BP, he's always working that opposite field. And he definitely has that opposite field power, let me tell you. I got to get most of them. But
is 2-2 delivery outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Schmidt this year at Fort Hays picked up 11 home runs and has 16 in his past 2 seasons with the Tigers. Larks love the long ball. They lead the RBL in home runs, and Schmidt no different than the rest of the Larks with that home run. Payoff pitch on its way from LaRoche, and Schmidt will strike out for the 3rd time today. Tough one right there. Now we'll go 2-way to the other Grant Long.
Give the fans what they want, Grant.
Grant Long, he this year against the Saints has just 2 hits in 12 at-bats, but he's picked up 4 different walks and scored 2 times, but looking for hit number 3 here against them this season. 1 hit can keep the line moving and get the Larks momentum. His first pitch over the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Grant has picked up 20 RBIs this season. Davis at first, not really a speed threat, but he has scored 32 runs this season. That is the 2nd most on the team behind Cam Pearson.
Smart base runner. Doesn't necessarily need that speed. He's got the wits up there.
I mean, he's stolen 100% of the bases he's attempted. He's 1 for 1. He's selective.
Good stat, Vaca.
1-1 here to Long. Rips it to the first base side, and Goldie fields it at the chest and tags first base. Larks have now left 9 guys on base, and they don't score here in the 7th after the 2-run home run. In the 6th, they're down by 3 as we head to the 8th here on Larks Network. Top of the 8th, here we go, here in Hays, Kansas. Wyatt Divis returns for his 2nd inning of work. He threw a 1-2-3-7 and returns for the 8th inning. Jack Rude will lead it off. He has 2 of the Saints' 5 RBIs today, singling home 2 back in the 1st inning. Take away that 1st inning, and the Larks in control, but 4 runs in the top of the 1st. just gave the Saints momentum. Larks got some back in the 6th with that 2-run home run, but only have 6 more outs to score at least 3. 1-0, here's the count from Divis. Divis always goes from the stretch and does so again here. 1-1, getting a strike against Rude, the catcher. So every time we have a player from the booth, we always try and get some questions in the YouTube chat to, get something going. And fans always have questions for the players, it seems like. So if you have any questions for Larks pitcher, Fort Hays State pitcher, and Larks legend Hunter Parker, drop them in the live chat, and we'll get them answered here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As for now, 1-2 counts here with a big gap in right center that Divis delivers outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Divis, 1-2-3 inning. Larks have retired 5 straight Game Day Saints. Divis looking for number 6 here. Divis' last outing was against the Rough Riders. He went 2 innings in relief, striking out all 6 outs. It's a pop-up over the left side. Hutchison is at the wall and hits it as it goes out of play. We'll go 2-2.
Good effort there. It looks like they're trying to pitch this kid away, so that would explain the left field, center field shift a little bit.
So after the defensive changes, Dylan Dreiling goes into left field. At Zach Henry in center, Grant Schmidt in right, and then Grant Lung takes over the duties at first base from Loomis. Pearson comes in from left and goes to second. So that's the way defensive set up with the shift to 2-2 with nobody out, nobody on here in the top half of the 8th inning. Divis just misses the outside part of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He smiles at Doug Clark, the home plate umpire. Lawson throws up his hands. Fans have been on Doug Clark all game long. His strike zone seems to be a little inconsistent today.
Seems to be a little bit awful.
Yeah. Payoff pitch here from Divis. Krause sets up and will deliver. 3-2. Payoff pitch popped into left center field, and Dylan Dreiling gets under it for out number 1. 6 straight Saints retired.
They must have heard me say I like Cam at second base.
Yeah, they're listening. I know, they're definitely listening down there.
For second baseman number 13, Vander Hodges.
So we go to Vander Hodges here. The second baseman, the 8th hole, 1 for 3 on the day with a single to ground out and a strikeout. And Zach Henry, I think, will still stay shifted to the left field side, a little bit more towards center here for this at-bat against the second baseman from Allen Hancock College. First pitch strike here from Divis. Divis only has 3 pitches in his arsenal, but that slider gets thrown about 10 different ways. And he loves that pitch. Throws it almost 50% of his pitches. And gets a ground ball past Long. It goes to Pearson. A little bit of confusion there. And I think they're going to mark that down as an error. We'll check the scoreboard here, and it goes down as an E3. Larks now have 15 errors against Game Day this season over the course of 3 games. They had in game 1, had a few errors, and in game 2 they actually had 7 errors. So 6-1, 7-2. Now 2 errors in the third matchup of the season. 1 away in game 1 of a 2-game series, and Divis blows the fastball behind a Luft.
Talk about Divis only having 3 pitches. It's really successful because he's able to put that ball wherever he wants. And
he's great with his location, and I mean, he's got heat, got movements. He just works it. He knows what he's doing on the mound.
Oh yeah, that's that experience coming into play right there.
Divis, 0-1 home, gets another one past Luft. Luft on the day, 1 for 3. He singled in the 6th inning and got all the way to 3rd, and then the Larks left him on the 3-bag. Check over at first again, this one just to keep Hodges honest. Hodges now 1 for 4 after reaching on that air. Divis goes home above the letters 1-2.
Ground ball to Cortland right here. We're going to roll 2, no big deal.
Larks love turning double plays. They've turned quite a few this season. To be exact, we have turned, I'll get that in a second. Went to the wrong page. 1-2. We'll see if we get that ground ball. It won't happen, but Divis picks up his third strikeout through 1 2/3. Larks have turned 32 double plays this season, and now 33 is off the table. But we'll take the strikeout.
Yeah, definitely.
Off of the batting order for the Gameday Saints,
Good fastball right there. Great location off the plate.
Two-away runner at first here. Divis, in outing number 10 of the season, has now struck out 46 guys. That's the second most on the team. And behind only Jake Fitzgibbons.
It really helps to get that strike one. That's for sure. And it looks like he's getting it every single batter now. Am I wrong?
We'll check as runners takes off and we get a fly ball. Divis, in terms of first pitch strikes, 5 for 7.
Okay.
But this inning has 3. Divis throws first pitch strikes on 72% of his batters, and when he does, 72% of those at bats end up with an out, so just around the same margins. But those strikes on 71% of his pitches, and when he throws a walk or throws a first pitch strike, 2 out of every 100 batters walk. So first pitch strike, huge for him.
Yeah, definitely. And it's huge for every pitcher. I mean, getting that first pitch strike, it's a weight off, that's for sure.
Sets the tone for the AB, and always want to be ahead in the count. 0-2 will miss above the letters. 1-2. Do it for the Larks in the bottom half of this inning, trying to get some offense going. Will be Crowell, Hutchison, and Henry. Runner takes off again, and we'll get another foul ball over to the right side. 1-2 counts. That's what will stay with 2 away. One, two away. Divis. He's gotten 2 straight foul balls with 2 strikes. And gets this one in fair territory. Schmidt takes a few steps in. And will end the 8th inning. Divis faces 7 in this 2 innings of work. No hits, no walks. And leaves 1 on base after the air. Striking out 3 in the process. Larks down by 3. Looking to rally as we go to the bottom half of the 8th. Sam Crowell steps to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Larks. Hayes down by 3. New pitcher into the game is Cole Ferguson. His first pitch gets taken into right center, and a back-trotting effort from Hodges goes off his glove, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Larks.
Well, this is the inning I called we'd get some runs. Way to start it, Sammy.
And we're going to get Brady Evans to courtesy run from. Not often you see a catcher run for be the courtesy runner for another catcher.
But I mean, he's getting ran for. He's got to get his reps in too on his off days.
For sure, they do roll a single for Corral, his first of the game. Normal 4 courtesy runners either in the lineup or not in the United States right now. Dominion and France, Palmer, Henry, and Pearson in the lineup. So we'll go to Palmer Hutchison, who has singled in his last AB. Pops this one up over to the right side. Bailey moves in. Evans will go back to first after out number 1 gets recorded. So it'll take us to Zach Henry. Had a big home run in his last at bat. We'll see if he can repeat his success here.
Keeps his hands through, head in. He should be more than successful on this at bat.
Henry has the longest hitting streak on the team right now at 11 games. He put it at 12 in the last inning. And we'll see if he can repeat that success. 1 away here with Evans at first. Henry coming to the dish. Takes his first pitch opposite and a foul, 0-1. That was Henry's second home run of the season. Now has 19 RBIs and he scored 30 different times over the course of the 2021 season. Picked up his second and third RBIs against the Saints this season and scored his fourth run. 0-1 home, he takes it up the middle, and that's going to get between Hodges and out. All ball. Brady Evans trips going to third. Luckily, the throw goes halfway between home and third, and it gets away. And Evans starts to go to third and ends up holding up, but the ball rolls into the dugouts, and they will let everybody advance as it's out of play. So a gift right there. If Evans didn't drip, he might have scored on the overthrow, but he'll get to go to third, and Henry goes to second.
It's hard to see the sniper in the dark way back there.
What's that?
It's hard to see the sniper in the dark on the deck.
I see what you're talking about. So Leo's going to contest that one, and not sure what he was going out and challenging there. Either way, it's a single for Zach Henry. Puts Evans at third and puts himself in scoring position at second. And coming up to the plate is Dylan Dreiling, his first game against the Saints this season. He's driven in 10 runs this year, has a grand slam, and he's representing the tying run right now. You said a big 8th inning coming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you feel it at the ballpark. I think, the fans getting a little chattery, and
the alcohol's starting to hit a little bit more.
And the first pitch to Dreiling, he rips to right field. Henry's going to be sent home from third, and Henry's going to score, and Dreiling brings home 2.
Yes, sir.
You called it, man. Still only 1 out.
Man, Dylan's been really big for us, too. Despite being the youngest guy on the team, he's huge for us.
He's one of the youngest, but I think he's got some of the fastest hands I've seen. He gets those hands, and I mean, it's worked. Picks up his 11th hit. RBIs 11 and 12. Henry scores his second of the game, and Evans scores his first. And Hayes down by just 1. Go-ahead run at the plate. And Cortland Lawson, you said you expected a big at-bat out of him in the 6th. He went down on a very tough call.
Yeah.
But hey, different inning. Dreiling stealing. He's going to be in pretty easily. Goes off of Ferguson's head. Ball goes into center. Cortland waves into third. And you can hear it on the mic right now. I almost have to yell to talk. The crowd is alive here.
Oh, yeah. A lot of energy.
I feel it up here, and we're rolling, man.
I think Cortland's got redemption on his mind now.
I mean, it would be huge. Did that hit off of Ferguson on the way to second?
I think it took his hat off. I saw something fly off.
Either way, we'll take it. Dreiling puts himself at third with a very dangerous hitter at the plate in Cortland Lawson. Lawson, 17 RBIs this season in 19 games. And has a 1-1 count here now with 1 away. Big at-bat coming But momentum in the favor of the hometown team.
Oh, yeah. Larks magic.
Ferguson, in his last game against the Larks, that was on the 14th, the game that the Larks came back and won 18-16 in 12 innings. He pitched 3 innings in relief and gave up 1 earned run. Doesn't get the low outside corner, and will go 2-1 against Cortland.
Makeup call for the last at-bat.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
2-1 here to Court. Momentum here at the park rolling. Ferguson goes from the windup, and Lawson sends it to the backstop. Still only 1 out, so sacrifice fly in play with the tying run 90 feet from scoring and Dylan Dreiling. Ferguson out of Wharton Community College in Texas. He's a right-handed southpaw. Big frame, sports the number 99 jersey. And will deliver here to number 22, Lawson. 2-2 counts to number 22.
I think he might take this one right center.
That'd be great. He'll take it outside, 3-2.
A little surprised to see that one didn't get called right.
That was brave of Lawson after getting punched out in the last at-bats. Just, I mean, whew, we'll take it, though. We'll take a full count.
Thank you, Doug.
A big give right there. Payoff pitch from Ferguson, and Lawson keeps the AB alive.
He's on it. He wants it.
Lawson slugging big this season, and his batting average with runners in scoring position standing at .389. Does have a runner in scoring position at third base. So we'll get another payoff pitch from Ferguson. Lawson waits at the plate. 3-2 home. He sends it off the top of his bat and just continues to keep Ferguson frustrated.
As a pitcher, I can tell you right now, this is the most frustrating at-bat for him right there.
Didn't get the call on 2 different pitches and has 3 straight payoff pitches get fouled. And hopefully Lawson can take advantage of that frustration on the payoff pitch. This time takes it to shallow right field, and Goldie gets under, records it. Dreiling not able to tag with the depth. So runner 90 feet from tying the game as we'll go to Cam Pearson. Pearson struck out in his past 3 at-bats.
That means he's due then.
He's due.
Yep. That's how baseball works.
He has 28 RBIs this season. He scored a team-leading 33 times. He wants to bring home Dylan Dreiling for Dylan's 6th run of the season. Sends a live drive right at Sackett. And one that's well hit, but right at the guy will end the 8th inning.
That's tough.
All right, so that'll end the 8th inning. Larks leave Dreiling in scoring position at third, and that'll do it for Hunter Parker on the mic. But hey, you've been the swing to the momentum, man. And since you came on the mic, Larks have scored 4 runs, and we're only down by 1. Before you leave, 9th inning, what's your prediction?
Let's see. Well, walk-offs are cool. We've had a couple of those, like you said, when we're down. And, yeah, I'm calling a walk-off.
All right,
walk-off home run.
We'll take it. Div is back to the mound for the 9th. Hayes down by 100. Thanks for coming on today.
Of course, no problem.
the ninth here, Wyatt Divis returns for his third inning of work, as we'll go to leadoff hitter. This is Noah Vogel, the left fielder. The 2-hole, 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up here in the ninth, and it'll be the same thing for the Larks. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Larks. Larks left a runner at third to end the 8th inning. One was well hit by Pearson, but right at Sackett to end the inning. Divis is 2-0 against this year against the Saints. Picked up wins in games 1 and 2 in Colorado. And if the Larks can put some runs on the board in the bottom of the ninth and walk it off, they could get Divis his third win against the team and get him his 6th win overall on the season. 1-1 home here to Vogel. Doug Clark doesn't give Divis the call. Outside 2-1. Bailey on deck with Goldie in the hole. 2-1 home, just below the knees. 3-1 hitters counts. Now for the left fielder. The left fielder was given the golden sombrero in the 6th inning. He struck out 4 times. And a 3-1 home just catches the outside corner. 0-1. Strike 2 of the at-bats. Looking at the wrong stats. 3-2. Full count, Divis on the payoff pitch, and gave him the hat trick in the 4th, and then gave him the golden sombrero in the 6th. If you know what 5 strikeouts is, let us know. That is the 5th time Vogel's gone down on strikes tonight. Quick Google search, as either, according to Wikipedia, either a platinum sombrero or the Olympic rings. Olympic rings would be fitting right now with the Olympics going on, but that is his 5th strikeout of the day. Divis picks up his 4th of the day on the mound, and now there's 1 away. So Olympics going on tonight. We appreciate you tuning into this stream when there's an event that only happens every 4 years going on in the sports world. So appreciate you taking the time and staying with us for the 9 innings of this ball game. Maybe see more than 9 innings, but either way, appreciate you being with us here on Larks Network. It's second to last game of the regular season for the Larks. We'll close out the regular season tomorrow night against the Gameday Saints for Game 2. 1-1 count here to Luke Bailey. He's been walked 2 times, hit by a pitch, and struck out. Divis gets strike 2 on him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away, base is empty. Larks have some very talented hitters coming up for the bottom of the ninth. Divis, Schmidt, and Long. And we'll see if those guys can score at least 1 run and keep the game alive for the Larks. It'd be a heartbreaker to lose, especially with the momentum that the crowd and the team has. Divis misses outside. Will go 2-2 in the count. Larks pulled off a big comeback, down by 10 against the Gameday Saints over a month ago. Down by half of that going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Didn't score any until the 6th, and then scored 2 in that inning and then 2 in the 8th, and are down by just 1. They've kept them off the scoreboard and the last 5 innings on the mound. Divis, Castellucci, and Derek DeCalati combining for 5 scoreless innings. Divis 2, DeCalati 2, and Castellucci 1 of those. Divis picks up his 2nd straight strikeouts. Bailey now has 2 strikeouts on the day, and that's out number 2. Momentum in favor of the Larks as we go to Peter Goldie. 0-2. 0 for 2 on the day. 1 for 3, not 0 for 2 on the day. He did double back in the 3rd inning. He scored in the 1st and then brought home a runner in the 3rd inning. It was a no-out rally. Max Castellucci on the mound. Then Castellucci left him at 2nd, getting a pop out, a fly out, and a strikeout to end it. And since then, after that double, Gameday yet to put a runner across the plate since that 3rd inning. Is it going to be enough for them in the bottom of the 9th as we have an 0-1 count here to Goldie, the first baseman? Best on deck if the Saints need him. 0-1 home from Divis, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Okay, 1 of 2 for the Larks. Want to at least guarantee a split of the series tonight and win game 1. If they win tonight, they will win the season series. They're already up 2-0 against the Saints. 1 ball, 2 strikes here as Doug Clark says this one catches the low outside corner. Divis looking to strike out the side here on the 1-2 delivery. Misses a bunt. The letters. Crow is ready to go to the dugouts. 2-2 count. Big gap up the middle. Cortland Lawson playing about halfway between second and third base. But he has great defensive range for the Larks. Don't question his ability there. So he's doing it. He's doing it for a reason. 3-2 count as this one misses below the letters. We'll get a payoff pitch here from Divis. Payoff pitch on its way from the 4-year Lark. He strikes out the side, and momentum in favor of the Hayes Larks as we go to the bottom of the ninth, down by 1. We walked off the Denver Cougars a few days ago. It was a run rule, winning 11-0 on the Cam Harrison 2-run home run. And we have our third walk-off of the season after the Grant Schmidt walk-off against the Cannons. We'll find out in the bottom of the ninth. Hayes down by 1 as Ferguson comes back to the rubber.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there.
Bottom of the ninth. Here we go. Wyatt Divis to lead it off for the Larks. Divis on the day, looking for his first hit. He's walked in his last 2 plate appearances and is looking to get aboard. Walked in 2 of his last 3 plate appearances, looking to get aboard again here. Has a first pitch strike here from Cole Ferguson. Ferguson comes into this game with ERA above 3.46 and a whip of 1.31. This is his 12th appearance on the mound, all of them in relief. He has a record of 1-0, has 1 save. That was against the Colorado Sox on the 8th. Then he had 13 days of rest before pitching against the Utah Marshals last Tuesday. Divis brings this one opposite field, but it's going to be foul, dropping on the dirt, so now he will have to protect down 1-2. As I mentioned, this is the Larks' second look at Ferguson this season. He threw 3 innings on June 14th. And had an earned run, a walk, 2 strikeouts, 4 hits allowed. 3 runs did score on him, but only 1 of them was earned for the righty. The 1-2 home from to Divis, who started the game as a DH and now has been on the mound for the past 3 innings, will miss inside Divis. 2-2. He's going to be so valuable for the Larks heading into the NBC. He's going to be able to pitch at the NBC. Gave us a gem in the winner's brackets and then hit very well in the NBC, and that's going to be huge. He's only a year better than he was last year, so big things coming for Divis in the NBC. Takes his 2-2 a mile high into right field. Hodges moves back, now moves in. He lost it for a second, but he does bring it in the infield for out number 1. So look at Grant Schmidt. He walked off the Cannons over a month ago for the Larks' 8th win in 9 games of the season. Not a walk-off situation with 1 away and the bases empty, but he could tie the game here. Has his most home runs on the team, tied with Tyler Palmer with 7. And he is batting .389, has an on-base percentage at .450, so he's getting on base nearly 50% of his at-bats. He's 0 for 4 today, so the numbers would say he should get aboard here. He struck out 3 times, been given the hat trick, and he's also popped up his 5th at-bat of the day. Looking for his first hit. 0-1 count, 1 away, bases empty. Take one down the line, take one into the gap. Either way, he's looking to get aboard. 0-1 count. This delivery below the knees of Schmidt. 1 ball and a strike. Ferguson, the righty, throws some velocity on his pitches. He will deliver here from the windup. Schmidt pops this one up. It was a good swing, but it goes into foul territory. Sackett moves into foul territory, reaches at the last second to bring it in, and that has been two disappointing at-bats with two pop-outs. So that'll take us to Grant Lung. 2 away, bases empty in the bottom of the ninth. Hayes down by 1. They had the go-ahead or the tying run at third base with only 1 out in the 8th inning with the top 2 of the order coming up. And then they left Dylan Drowling at third base. And that one might be the difference maker today, but Grant Lung wants to make sure it's not. Lung singled in the 8th to lead it off. And then scored. Or did he? No, he didn't. 1-0 count here from Ferguson to Lung. Lung on base percentage of .448 this season, close to what Grant Schmidt had, and takes this one off his bat and off the catcher. We'll go 1-1. 2 away, Crowell is standing on deck for the Larks with Hutchison in the hole for Hayes. Even if the Larks lose this game, it should not matter whatsoever because the Larks have already clinched the league title and the NBC bid, but you still want to win all the games you can, and you never like to lose. Long almost takes this one off his jersey. He doesn't say it hit him, so we'll go 2-1 in the counts. This is Grant's 3rd year with the Larks. That's one of his biggest opportunities here. 2-1 from Ferguson. He swings and whiffs at 1. Is frustrated with that one, and we'll get back in the dugout or the box having to protect. 2-2 counts. The Larks closed the season against the Saints last year and are doing the same thing this year. 2-2 home. Lung sends it to the second baseman, Hodges, and he'll get in time to first for out number 3. Ferguson waves to the Larks dugouts and gives them some words as they leave victorious. They'll tot, but they will see this team tomorrow for Game 2 of 2 against the Gameday Saints. Larks sitting at 2-1 against the Saints this season. We'll look to take the split of this series tomorrow and the series win tomorrow night as well. Teams looking at each other right now. There's some tension between these two teams, so be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to celebrate some of the accomplishments of the team this season and give the guys credit where credit is due tomorrow night. So sure to tune in. First pitch at 7 o'clock for Game 2 of 2. So Ferguson starts some tension between the two teams. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting game as we will get ready for that one. Cade Brown picks up his first loss of the season on the mound. He's now 3-1. And Gustin gets win number 1. He's 1-0. Larks rally comes up short after having the tying run on third with only 1 out in the 8th. They don't get anything and have 5 straight outs and end the game losing by 1. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night. First pitch at 7 p.m. against the Gameday Saints. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. We'll see you tomorrow.